Hey guys, so this is going to be a walkthrough on how to set up a feed from scratch. So I've logged into IMFeed into my demo account, and the first thing we're going to do is add one new client. And it's as simple as simply typing in the name and then hitting create database. So for this client, Hanger Sale, we're going to click on it, and the first thing we're going to do is upload the file that represents the data. So the import name doesn't really matter. We'll just call it product feed. The import type is it's a product feed. There's also join information, and we'll cover that in a different video. Then you choose a file type. So is it delimited? Is it comma separated? Is it tab separated? Or is it an XML based file? So for this guy, we're going to choose XML because that's what our file is. And for the file location, I've actually got it locally on my computer. We could have also had it located at a URL, which is often common when integrating with some of the back-end engines for e-commerce. And we could have also had the file located at an FTP location. And in that case, you'd simply fill in the required parameters and hit upload. But again, ours is currently located locally. So we're going to choose that file, and it's on our desktop. And we're going to hit upload. And this is going to upload it from your local computer onto our servers. The page will refresh when it's ready, and you'll see here a schedule. Now, because we chose to upload this product from our local machine, the schedule is filled out as blank. If we had chosen instead to upload the file from URL or FTP, we can actually tell IMFeed to fetch the file from that location on a specific schedule. For example, every day at 1 a.m. or even every hour, every Sunday, Monday at a particular time. But again, because this is a local file, that's not necessarily something we can do. Now, then we go to the map file tab. And what this is all about is it's taking the file, which is being displayed on the left for you guys, and mapping that file into a database. And so the column on the left is what you want to call that data, the name for that data that you're most comfortable with, and that's sort of the name that you're going to be manipulating the data with. As an example, that's basically if you're creating an Excel spreadsheet of your data, this would be the first line header. This would be the first row column name. Now that the file has uploaded, what we're going to do is map this file. So the basic premise here is that you're taking the file, which is presented on the left-hand side, and you're bringing that data into a normalized format with names that you can interact with. So we're just going to follow the directions. What is the tag that contains an individual product? And we note that it usually looks like item or product. So if we look here, we're going to try to find a tag that contains a product. So the first thing we see, products. Well, that's somewhat promising, right? The next thing we see is that this delineation is pretty much one product. And then this guy is product number 2 and product number 3. So what we have is products are actually contained in a tag name which is called products. So we're just going to copy that and paste it into here. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we want the product code, right? And we're going to call that code, and the path here is simply code. And we're going to add a couple columns because there's more information here than just code. The next one we want is description. So we're going to grab that, and I note that the node name here is just description. The next is URL. Let's call this one link. Thumb, we'll call this one additional image link. And the actual picture itself, we'll call image link. Let's get weight. And let's just grab one or two more. So if we look here, we see pricing. They have base price, localized price, original price, localized original price, sale price, and localized sale price. The things that we're going to be working with, and if you just look at the first example, you note that they're the same, but this doesn't necessarily have to be true across the entire data feed. Products that are on sale might have a different sale price than their base price. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the original price, and this is where it gets interesting. So you see that this is a nested structure. So the first thing we need to do is say pricing. Then it's very, very easy to specify this nested structure. Just put a slash and then base price. Then the next one is, let's get the sale price as well. And that's again the exact same thing. So it's first price, so under product, right? The first thing is pricing, and then the next thing is sale price. So let's do pricing, and then sale price. And that should do it. There's a couple more interesting things that we might want, but this will suffice for the demo. So the next thing we do is, once we've grabbed all the fields we'd like, we just hit submit map. And the page will again refresh when we're good to go. So after we do this, we'll check out the data tab, because at this point, we've taken this file and mapped it into a database. So as you can see, what was presented here is a much nicer and more human-friendly representation of the data. So if you go here, you can see the code was mapped, description, link, additional image link, all these sort of things over here. And you might notice immediately that there's a problem with additional image link, which is in the feed, it actually provides what looks to be HTML code here. Let's go to selectors and transformers and go to the image link, because it's also a problem with the image link. And now I'll show you guys how to do this. So the selector basically says to which products would we like to apply the following transformation. And in this case, it's a problem with every single product in the feed. So we just say true. We'd like to apply the transformation that we're going to come up with to every single product in the feed. The next thing we're going to say is, well, what we need to do as a human, right, we take a look at this and say, basically what we want is everything after source equals up until this guy, this greater than sign over here. So with IMFeed, it's very easy to specify this rule. You just say everything to the right of source equal, everything to the right of source equal up until the first greater than sign, right? And all the way up until what we call, and the place that we're trying to do this in is image link. So I add that rule, and now I can go to transform data and see if it worked. And it didn't quite work, so let's go see what we did wrong. And in fact, I think the place should go first. And if I had to tell you in English what we want, we basically want the things to the right of the source equal all the way up until the first greater than sign. So it's really easy to specify that in English, and thankfully it's also very easy to specify that in IMFeed. So we're going to go to the Selectors and Transformers tab, and we're going to choose the field image link. And then here's basically how this works. The selector field tells us to which products in our product feed would we like to apply the following transformation rule to. And if we look here, we basically see that the problem is with every single product in the feed. So the selector here is true, which indicates to IMFeed that it wants to apply the following transformation that we're going to come up with to every single row in the product feed. So the rule that we talked about and we came up with is basically everything to the right in the image link field, everything to the right of source equal, all the way up until the first greater than sign. And you just hit add transformer, and let's take a look. We go to the transform data tab, and we can see here that the image link looks like it works. So I'm going to go here, and let's just check it out. Yep, looks like it worked. And we can do the exact same thing to the additional image link. And that should again be pretty simple. I'm actually literally just going to copy this guy, go to the additional image link. The selector is still true because we want to apply it to everything, but the field we're doing this in is additional image link. And that should do it. Let's go to transform data. And now we have the additional image link also has the HTML effectively stripped out. Another thing that we might notice is that the price field doesn't have a USD to the right of it, which Google prefers. So let's just add that really quick. So to every single product in our feed, we want the new product to be the new price field to be the old price field, concatenated with a space and then USD. Let's add that transformer, go to transform data, and check it out. So the old one, the original provided data feed, which you can see we're in the data tab over here, the original data that was provided to us didn't have that USD, but we've added it. So for weight, we also probably want to add pounds or whatever metric there is. So let's do that really quick. And it's the same thing. We want the old weight field concatenated with pounds. And that pretty much does it. There's selectors and transformers for pretty much anything you can imagine. One of the most common ones is if description fields have HTML elements in them, you can literally just go description. We want no HTML of the description field. And if you add that, that'll do it.